Buenos días, bonjour, ohayo gozaimasu. Es lunes, nous sommes lundi, getsuyobi desu yo. It's Metacognition Monday. We've been talking about how your brain works, and I am going through many of the methods I use. Now, if there's a method out there, I use it, okay? I pick and choose bits and pieces that I really like from every single method of teaching language ever invented. So today we're talking about organic world language, often abbreviated as OWL. No, that's a total coincidence, okay? Just a complete coincidence. All right, so the story goes that this is a designer method, and a designer method is that somebody sat down and invented this method, as opposed to the types of methods like the direct method or the natural method that have evolved over hundreds and hundreds of years of language teaching. So the story goes that the woman who invented this took her students on a trip to another country, and lo and behold, she wasn't prepared for the silent period. Remember, we've talked about the silent period, which is that point where you're either overwhelmed, or your brain is busy processing, or you're just embarrassed and you won't speak aloud, or you can't speak aloud. And so she felt like it was a waste of money, because there she was in this foreign country with her students, and her students weren't saying anything, which happens when you're like, oh, we're only visiting the country for a couple of days, and then you don't have time to get over that silent period. But anyway, she was very dismayed by that. And so she thought, how am I going to help my students get over this? And she developed the organic world language method. And her first thought is that a desk is a barrier to conversation. So there are no desks, no chairs whatsoever in an OWL classroom. And the students have to stand the entire period, and they stand in a circle. Okay, there's like 90% focus on speaking, very little writing in any of the classes I've observed, although some teachers do tell me that they do put a little bit of writing in, and they have their students journal. But every time I've ever observed OWL, it's just the students standing around in a circle, and projected on the board will be a sentence frame, and the students will have to do a chain drill. That is, this student asks this student the question, this student answers, this student asks this student the question, this student answers. So you go around one by one, or it's what we call a do-si-do, where the student goes to talk to this student, and then the student goes to talk to this student, and everyone's talking simultaneously, kind of like at a mingling, but there's a prescribed order that you go in. And of course, the picture I have here is for concentric circles, which we do. There are lots of brain breaks built into this, because you're talking 100% of the target language the entire class time. There's absolutely no English. So the kind of brain breaks, they're really fun. They're hand clapping games, they're ball bouncing games, they're listen to music and then freeze when the music stops kind of games. And they're just meant to kind of reset and give you some giggles, and just to do something different from the constant speaking. It's very student-centered. There will be a student leader chosen each day, and the student leader, even though the teacher has said, okay, we're doing this first, this first, this first, this first, and it's all in order on the slides or whatever, the student leader is the one who leads the class through the chain drills, through the do-si-do, through the brain breaks. The student leader gets to choose the brain breaks, things like that. There's lots of celebration as students get things correct, and the focus is on community. So I'm going to challenge you to think about my classroom and think about what I stole from organic world language. Because obviously, I still have desks. Obviously, I still have you guys write a lot. Obviously, we listen a lot. We speak, but I let you have things in your hands while we speak. Just think about, what techniques from OWL have I stolen for our classroom? All right, see you on the next time.